to the latest issue of Warhammer 40k Imperium magazine. Now, as per usual with all these videos, if you like them, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course drop us a comment down below. I love hearing back from you guys, and it goes a massive way to helping the channel too. Now, this week we're on issue 82 of Imperium magazine, and we have our second Adeptus Sororitas Paragon Warsuit. Super cool units. They have some slightly different build options, whether you want to have a maul, whether you want to have a sword. There is an extra sword on this sprue as well, which is super cool and looks more intricate than the other one, which is really nice. And of course you have different guns that you can choose, whether you want the heavy bolter, whether you want multi-melters, and so on, as well as having grenade launchers on there, or if you want the mini bolters. Really cool stuff. Really nice unit to build as well. Really good fun. I enjoyed my last one, and I'm going to enjoy building this new one as well. So good stuff there. Into the issue we go though. First off, we're greeted in one of the war zones. Obviously we're continuing through the Metallica system, and this is Obelisk and Lyrak phase 3. So with Metallica Besiege and the Obelisk and Lyrak sectors embroiled in all-out war, another threat loomed out of the shadows with designs on Colossi, home world of the Knights of House Raven. This threat was the mighty demon prince Be'lakor. So, with Be'lakor, he is a super huge demon prince. He is also known as the Dark Master. He is a fantastical looking creature, and definitely one worth having if you like your chaos. There he is, the Dark Master, the not a champion of just one chaos god. He is a champion of all the chaos gods. He is super powerful. He is nigh on indestructible. He is worshipped by mortals. He is feared by many other mortals, and he is feared by immortals as well. So really good stuff. A fantastic unit, probably one of the only chaos units I really want to get my hands on. Super huge, obviously with these massive bat-like wings. Yeah, a really cool demon prince. If you are a chaos player, definitely one that you might want to think about picking up. A lot that you can do with him. You can change his base. He can work in Age of Sigmar as well as 40k, entirely up to you, but a super cool unit. So really good stuff. And it also has a rich history and lore as well, stemming back even to Warhammer the Old World, where he even faced off against the mighty Gotrek Gurnason and encountered Felix Jaeger as well. So definitely worth having a look out for him, and maybe think about picking him up. He's not cheap though, so do be careful. Moving on, we get more information about one of the other factions from the 41st millennium, the Eldari and their craft worlds. So of all the various Eldari factions, those that hail from the craft worlds are perhaps the best known. This is not to say, however, that they are well understood. They are an esoteric, spiritual people whose actions are driven by prophecy and divination, and are thus unpredictable in the extreme. With the different factions and within the Eldari, there are many, and there are the main few that we get to find out about. There are Ulfwi, I probably said that very wrong, Alatiok, Bieltan, Yanden, and Saimhan. Obviously, with a couple of them, Yanden and Bieltan, you may know them from certain parts of the paint range. So you have Yanden Yellow, obviously they wear yellow armour. Bieltan is also known as Bieltan Green, which is one of the shades, and is a pretty cool one as well, and I must admit I do use that. But yeah, really cool stuff, and the Eldari are pretty cool. They look like they're straight out of some like proper Japanese style artwork, some science fiction stuff, and they look proper sci-fi as well, which makes them look really good and pretty cool and quite nice and sleek, which is always nice to see. Then we get a super cool story about the Adeptus Sororitas. So on a far-flung cardinal world, far from the light of holy terror, the order of our martyred lady, battle to hold back for word bearers. Zealous heretic Astrates, whose worship of the dark gods has granted them unholy power. Empowered by unwavering faith, neither side will yield willingly. So, if you like your fiction from 40k, and you like your Adeptus Sororitas, this is definitely for you. This story is pretty decent. It goes on for quite a little while. I'm not going to go into any spoilers because I don't want to ruin the story by accident. But obviously you get some nice bits of artwork as well as you go through these pages. And yeah, it's definitely worth a read. So have a bit of fun with that. But you know, good old stories from the Adeptus Sororitas are always good fun. Then we have our build guide. So it does mention that we have an additional sword on here as well, which will be utilised for building the Paragon Superior in next week's issue. So make sure you keep that safe and don't chuck it away, because otherwise it'll be a bit of a pain in the backside. And yeah, very, very similar to last week, in all honesty. You're going to be very, very straightforward, entirely up to you. If you are going to go for quite a high detail and you're going for the head without the helmet, I recommend not putting that head inside there and building it all in one go, because it will be a nightmare to paint that face with part of it hidden underneath the kind of a gorget on the armour, because that can be a pain in the backside. I'm not going to lie to you, it just can. But otherwise, a really cool unit, and definitely worth having a blast, having a bit of playthrough, and definitely follow the instructions to the letter as well, because otherwise it will be an absolute nightmare to fit together. So yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Your paint section, very, very similar to before. So paint it up for the same kind of paint scheme that you've been doing all along. So if you are going with the standard one, you're going to be following very much this. Obviously, it's a really cool unit. So there's a lot to go on with it, a lot of painting, a lot of little sections as well. And weirdly enough though, it's not as highly detailed as you may think. It's very, very easy to get across all the details without spending forever painting it, which is always really, really cool. But otherwise, really good stuff. And at the end of it, you'll be left with something like that, which should match the one from last week. And yeah, really cool. Genuinely a lovely, lovely bit of kit. So I'm really, really happy to have, eventually, when after next week, 6 of these, so which will be good fun. And then we move on, we carry on with our current campaign in the 41st millennium, and we get the Battle of Tragis. Said that probably wrong, you know, because, you know, words. But yeah, a super cool battle, so we get a lot more bits and pieces in here. 75 power is always really, really good fun. Utilising all 4 battle mats as well. You can utilise your Paragon Warsuits, for instance, with this. Entirely up to you. I personally would recommend it because it's good fun. So, but if you want to, you can play through it many, many times. Entirely up to you if you are following the campaign, or if you just want a new mission to play through. It's your choice. But otherwise, fantastic bit of kit. So, not bad. And then, moving on, next week, we have issue 83 of Imperium magazine, which will include our 3rd and final Paragon Warsuit. We learn more about the Eldari, and we also get a return to Electia. So, not bad stuff. Really, really good. Obviously, this Paragon Warsuit for the magazine's run is meant to be your Paragon Superior, so the leader of your trio of Paragon Warsuits. If you've bought multiple, obviously you can make 2 of them, so really good stuff. But otherwise, fantastic bit of kit, and genuinely going to be quite enjoyable to do as well. Obviously, it will build very, very similar to what we've already got, but I can't say that that's a bad thing, in all honesty, personally, because they all have these different poses, and they all look really good. Then, issue 84. 84 is the disappointment of these last 10 issues, I'm not going to lie, because we get a Skitarii Marshal. It could be better. I'm genuinely kind of disappointed that we get a Skitarii Marshal in the last 10 issues. I genuinely hope that we would get something better when they announced it, but it is what it is. We will suffer through it together. I mean, if you're an Adeptus Mechanicus player, a Skitarii Marshal is always very, very handy. However, we already have 2 HQ units for the Adeptus Mechanicus. Having a 3rd one and only having 10 Skitarii and a cup and like 3 destroyers doesn't make much sense, in all honesty. It would have been nice to see something a bit different. Castellan robots would have been fantastic, I'm not going to lie, because they look cool and they look really nice. They could have just given us something different. It is what it is, though. We get on with it, and we'll probably still enjoy the magazine anyway. Then moving on from that, we have a couple more Necrons to come, including Illuminor Xeris, which is in our final issue. We also have that awesome Redemptor Dreadnought as well from the Space Marine range, so we do have a lot to look forward to. So it is well worth keeping your eyes open, because we're going to get some good stuff even in the last few issues. So not too bad, it is what it is, but we'll move on. Otherwise, thank you very, very much for watching, and I will see you sometime soon. Bye bye now.